Hello, Cowboys fans. Dumb Clowney here to talk to you about some interesting Cowboys developments. So it's been a couple weeks since I've made a video about the Cowboys. Just, trying to let some time pass for some things to happen, and some things have happened. What really spurred this on is the Gregory debacle, but not the part where he switched teams and he said he was coming to the Cowboys and went to the Broncos. There was an interesting Twitter debacle that happened where Cowboys fans are now toxic, which we already knew that, by the way. I mean, Stephen A. has been riding that ship for 2 decades now of Cowboys fans suck, they're toxic, blah-de-blah-de, yada-yada. But I wanted to look at some of them and kind of give you my thoughts and opinions and talk about the other free agency moves that the Cowboys have made so far. So I guess let's just get into it. We're going to go to Randy's Twitter account, which is here. And first of all, this is great. Look at Randy's family. That's nice. These are all people. These are all human beings we're talking about here. So let's not get too crazy. All right, so this right here. Y'all opinions don't pay my bills. I don't know what this is, but like straight up or like quiet, I don't know. But a lot of likes, a lot of replies, and he's in here in these replies. Let me tell you what. Rick says, "My boy, you sound upset." And Randy says, "Nah, your toxic fan base that believe I owe them and their team something. LOL. Toxic fan base. That's so funny and crazy to hear. Not to hear, but to read a former Cowboys player tweet something about the fan base, which Jeff Kavanaugh has been talking about this for a while now, about how Cowboys fans seem so much more angry this offseason than usual, which I do agree with, and I'm a part of that as well. I'm more upset and angry than I've ever been with the Cowboys from their performance last year, which falls more on the players, I guess, and the coaching staff, not really the GMs. But the lack of the GMs trying to improve this team or make it competitive or at least on the same level as it was last year. It seems like we've only gotten worse. And of course, we'll see that when we get to the free agency signings. But my word, yeah, Cowboys fans have been livid this offseason, especially on Twitter. And Jeff brings up the point of well, that could just be this small microcosm of the fan base that's on Twitter is the outraged part. And there's what percent of that is the overall fan base? You never know. I mean, there's probably some studies or some math whizzes out there that can figure out what percentage of the fan base, how realistic is this Twitterverse for the fan base as a whole? I don't know. I'm on Cowboys Twitter, so I only see what's on Cowboys Twitter. I haven't talked to my brother's more of a guy who's not on Cowboys Twitter, and he's a big fan. I should talk to him and see what he's thinking about if he's mad, livid, or he just doesn't care. But I care. All right, so let's look at some more replies. Let's see. There's just this guy getting roasted by PassFit. He had a lot of likes on his. Your bills are going to get paid with the contract Cowboys gave you. It was the same contract with one extra rule. And so now here, before I even finish reading that, here's something that the worst part of football is millionaires fighting with billionaires over money. Squabbling is more of what I would say. Squabbling over money, which $1 million, which Randy Gregory got 30 mil, some of it guaranteed. I don't remember what the contract is, but even let's just say $1 million is more money than I'll ever see in my fucking life. And I'm such a nihilist when it comes to this kind of thing, like wealth and riches. All that stuff is so shitty to me. There should be no billionaires in the world. There should be no billionaires. So all these owners that are billionaires, I don't like them. On just a human level or whatever. Like Jerry Jones, okay, cool. He's Jerry Jones. He's a billionaire. He shouldn't be a billionaire. There should be no billionaires because there's so many poor people. That's a whole different tirade. But this is my least favorite part of football is millionaires squabbling over billionaires for money. Contracts, free agency. This just is a toxic playground right here, because Jibe Levin's talking about your bills are going to get paid, blah, blah, blah. And Randy talking about, his initial tweet was, y'all's opinions don't pay my bills. And then you have everyone else that can say something about what Randy's doing and what money he gets and all that. And it's such like a environment for just toxicity. And then this guy says, you really trying to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys didn't pay you while you were suspended all those seasons when they didn't have to? No, they didn't, LOL. They don't, no play, no pay, stupid. So Randy's really going off, man. Yeah, a lot of fucking angry mob on here on Twitter. A lot of Cowboys profile pics going wild. All right, let's go back to that first initial reply and see what's under here for the. All right, so there's a lot of replies to Randy's thing right here. You in the playoff game against San Francisco. Yep, choking. Yada yada. Did Randy not reply to any of these? I should just go to his replies and see what he said. That's really what matters, Back. Tweets and replies. It always goes down in the replies. This, okay, he responded to this. Cowboys fans in general acting as if you are their property. Common issue with sport fanatics. You do you. Broncos country got your back. You are in a better place now. This. Damn. Randy's really, he's gone Joker mode, man. He's really betrayed us. He betrayed the fans. Can you believe it? Everyone's got something to say. And here's my opinion, too, obviously. I'm no better than any of these people replying. I'm making a whole goddamn video about it. So, your opinions don't pay my bills either. And that's a middle finger? Bro, you can do that? Is that what Randy's was? No, it was a one finger. This one looks like a middle finger. Ah, you finally get it. Opinions are opinions, man. I got you. Mm-hmm. All right, I think that's it for that kind of drama that went down. It's so funny to see. I mean, Cheeto kind of did it too. Cheeto Bayauzie, who plays for the Bengals. Excuse me. I always call the Bengals the Bungles, but they went to the goddamn Super Bowl, so I can't call them the Bungles no more. But he took a shot too at the Cowboys about all the noise and it being like, I don't know, you can look up what he said, but he took a shot, subtle jab at the Cowboys too. Okay, so let's switch over to the free agencies, acquisitions, and we'll talk about those. I just wanted to go over the Randy stuff. It's just, my overall takeaway is that I hate this part of the offseason because everybody has shit to say about other people's money and contracts. And I hate millionaires squabbling with billionaires over money because I will never have anywhere close to that amount of money. And that makes me sound jealous and like an asshole. And true, I am jealous. I am selfish asshole. I want money. I want millions of dollars. I'm Randy Gregory's age. I'm not going to have that much money. But he's on a different level than me. He can talk about like millions of dollars as if it's like thousands of dollars. Like, and does that suck? Yes. And if you're not jealous of those kind of people and those athletes, then you're lying to yourself because you should be jealous because they live an awesome, privileged life and you don't. They've worked really hard. Don't get me wrong, but they're also blessed with talent and they've worked real hard. But I've worked real hard. You've probably worked real hard, and you don't have millions of dollars. All right, so now let's look at this free agency overview, I guess you could call it. So let me talk about Randy's performance for a second. I'm gonna go full screen because have a look at that. So my deal with Randy is now he's not on the team. Last year he had one more sack than Dorrance Armstrong did. And throughout his career, it's been up and down. He's never had like a big breakout season. Last year, you could kind of say that, but he had an injury. He's never had a full season where he's played. And he had the best thing I can say for him is that it may not show up on the stat sheets like with like as like Micah Parsons with all the sacks, all the tackles for loss and everything. But Randy made big time plays. He had a pick six. He had 2 crazy smash fumbles where he just smoked somebody and they fumbled it. And those plays are impact plays that only certain people can make. That's why Randy's getting paid what he is, and that's why he was recruited for us as highly as he was. So hold on, let me see this. Something's happening. All right, Jeff Kavanaugh went live just now. I thought he was going to break some kind of news. I was reading the title of his video, but no news. So, yeah, that's why we wanted Randy back so bad. Is because that potential is there to make those big splash plays. But at the end of the day, he's 29 years old. He's my age. He's out of shape. That's me. I'm just kidding. He's not out of shape, but he's 29. He's got like 3 more years left of possibly like his peak performance. And we've never really seen him be that super dominant player. Like, I mean, he wasn't getting a contract like where he was going to be like a super dominant player. And I wanted him back, don't get me wrong, because I mean, he's a good pass rusher and he has that potential, and that's what we were really hoping for, is that potential. But also having him gone, I was never like it's not the end of the world necessarily. Like, it sucks that we're going to miss that production. But we could sign someone else. We got Dante Fowler, we'll talk about him. But like, would I have rather had, and I was a big proponent of this in my last video, I talked about Bobby Wagner. Would I rather have Bobby Wagner or Randy Gregory? I would probably say Bobby Wagner. And that's not a joke. That's not me. That's not hindsight now that Randy's gone. I probably would have said that to begin with. Like, pass rushing is probably more important than linebacker. But, I mean, as a whole team, like, the defense can get better with a smart, savvy, athletic, great linebacker to go with Micah and to mix that up. There's potential there. And what I always want is new things to happen in the defense. The Cowboys are so stuck on re-signing their free agents, and nothing changes, hardly. Like, we get these, like, Jaron Kearse panned out really well. Who else was there really well last year? Really, that's only some other guys played well. Carlos Watkins, but they didn't have that impact that Kearse did. So those can happen, but we need new people in there. Every year is a brand new year. Every year things can change so drastically, and all these other teams get loads of different players, and they have a brand new defense, brand new offense, and the Cowboys never do that. It feels like they never really shake up their team. And I hate that. I want Anthony Brown gone. I want Kelvin Joseph to start. Like, he has like a $6 million contract. That's another player we could get, and a fresh new player. I don't care who it is, but give someone $6 million that's around that type of player that deserves $6 million, who's not Anthony Brown. We know what he is. We know what he can do. I want someone new. I want someone fresh to shake this place up a little bit. I hate the stagnant attitude of signing these same guys when you could sign different guys. And you can argue, well, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, right? Well, that can be true in some circumstances. But for football, I don't know if that's true. I mean, you're not going to sign like some hurt guys unless you're the Cowboys and you want to sign Michael Gallup, who just tore his ACL. But that's a little tirade here. All right, let's look at this signings real quick. Michael Gallup. We knew about this one. It's solid. I like Michael Gallup. Still pissed Amari had to get let go, but I attribute it to Dak. It's Dak guys. Who does Dak want to throw the ball to? Probably Michael. Excuse me. I mean, that's what it has to be, right? Who in the world says Amari Cooper is not as good as Michael Gallup? Raise your hand out there. Nobody? Okay. But who will Dak throw the ball to more? Michael Gallup or Amari Cooper? Michael Gallup? Yeah, okay. I think that's what it is. It's just what it is. I don't know why. But We'll see. We'll see. Jake McQuaid. Cool. Who's gonna kick it? We have a long snapper, but who's gonna kick the ball? DeMarcus Lawrence, good for D-Law, loyal Cowboys guy, great leader. Him and Randy are like complete opposites. I feel like DeMarcus is that leader, mature. Not to say that Randy's immature, but like, I mean, he's on these rants on Twitter, you know, engaging with the fan base, which is fine, but I just see DeMarcus as such a different guy than that, you know. So, we got D-Law, good. Malik Hooker. I like this deal a lot. I think Malik Hooker has a lot of potential. He's young. Does it say how old he is in here? 26 or 25 or so. See, his best football could still be ahead of him. So that could be good. I'm excited for that. Jeremy Sprinkle. All right. Our tight end options back. This was more of a blocker. He scored a touchdown last year, I'm sure, because everyone scored a touchdown last year. Yeah. 17 games, 4 starts. And Sean McEwen and Ian Bunting are on the roster too. All right. Dorrance Armstrong. Now, this is one interesting one. Dorrance, like I mentioned earlier, had 1 less sack than Randy Gregory last year. That's kind of a breakout season for Dorrance Armstrong. The Cowboys love this guy, I guess. I'll never forget when he was drafted out of Kansas, the 4th round. I was like, we drafted a Kansas player? Kansas is fucking terrible every year because I'm an OU fan. We played Kansas every year. But he's steadily been coming along, you know. Do I think he'll take this giant leap and be a great, tremendous player next year? No. But could he be a solid contributor? Yes. And the potential's there. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't really have a huge breakout season and turn into this guy that we thought he could be until kind of later as well. Like his first 3 years, he was good, solid, but then he kind of turned into this great defensive end. So maybe Dorrance can do the same thing. We'll see. We've got Chauncey Golston still on staff, and said Michael Parsons is in the mix as a pass rusher. Leighton Vander Esch, the Wolf Hunter. Oh. So this is not like offensive to me or whatever. I just thought LVE was definitely not coming back. He's on a 1-year deal with a maximum monies of $3 million, which is what I would have said for a contract. Like, what would you bring Leighton Vander Esch on back for? I probably would have said like $0, but if you had to get him back for something, $3 million, not the worst thing in the world. He's a starting linebacker. Started a lot of games for you last year. Do we want to get better there? Obviously, we do. And this is one of those things where I want new people in the building. Leighton Vander Esch, I thought, was gone because we want to make room for Jabril Cox. We're going to draft a linebacker. We're going to sign Bobby Wagner, possibly. Some new faces in the fucking room. Some new people on the field, because we know what Leighton Vander Esch is. Starting linebacker, serviceable. Those are not great words for a player. I mean, starting linebacker, okay, good. But I want some fresh faces. Let's see if we can't have something better or something at least more fun. We know what Leighton Vander Esch is. Did he go back to his freshman rookie year and play that well again? I don't know. He's on a 1-year deal, so this is like a prove-it year. Maybe he'll go balls to the wall like, man, I got to get some money. I got to get paid. $3 million just isn't enough for me. And I need more money. Then maybe he'll ball out. James Washington, this is cool. I'm happy with this. James Washington is married to a old friend of mine. I'd say we were friends back then. More of like acquaintance now. I mean, I follow her on Twitter. Known her for a long time back in high school. And she's married to James Washington. So that's interesting. And he's coming to Dallas. So I hope this guy does super well. A lot of people from Pittsburgh just love him. And they just wish that he had more opportunities to play. I just don't know the deal with all of that from Pittsburgh, but it does seem like there's a lot of video of this guy out there making plays. So we'll see. Still going to draft a wide receiver. Can James Washington come in and, ball out? Can he get fucking, what's that guy's name? God damn it. Does it say it in here? No, it doesn't say his name. Noah Brown. I just thought of it. Can they kick Noah Brown off the goddamn field finally? It's another one of the guys we re-signed. Get a new guy. Get someone else in the fucking building. A new face. Okay, Dante Fowler. He signed to a 1-year deal. I just wonder what the Cowboys paid for Dante Fowler. This is an article from like 3 days ago, so. But, you never know. 1-year deal. If he's cheap, former number 3 overall pick, can Dan Quinn unlock his pass rush ability? Like, he had 11.5 sacks in 2019. Dan Quinn was Atlanta's head coach when Fowler signed there in 2020. It did not work out for either. Quinn was fired. Fowler had just 7.5 sacks in 2 seasons. Ooh. Yeah. So Dan Quinn had him before, and he had like an average of 3.25 sacks in those 2 seasons. Not great. So, not super optimistic there. All right. So, with that out of the way, let's get some closing thoughts here. How about God, I was on face cam that whole. All right, guys, I had this whole shit pulled up for us to look at. I was scrolling on it this entire time, thinking you guys were able to look at it with me. There it is. Stupid. Yay. All right, well, let's go with some final thoughts here. Cowboys gotta sign Bobby Wagner. Gotta sign Zadarius Smith today, or we riot, right? Now, I think you gotta change your attitude after all this shit started going down with the Cowboys. I was thinking like, temper our expectations. This year is kind of like a not a rebuild, not a retool, but like a calm before the storm, if you will. Like let's make some moves here and there, see what we got going forward with the draft and everything. And after this season, we'll make a push. We'll fire Mike McCarthy. We'll promote Dan Quinn to head coach, or we'll sign Sean Payton as head coach. And this year is like, we'll see what happens. Dak's still here for next season and the season after that and the season after that. So you got 3 more years to win a championship. Next year just isn't the year, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. That's all I got to say. My goodness, this video was longer than I expected, but Cowboys fans, follow, subscribe here, and leave a comment. Bitch at me in the comments, please. I would love to hear that. Let me know why I'm so wrong about anything I've said. Bye-bye. Take care.